It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, and I am here with Hannah in La Mesa, California to work on an adorable little planter that we put in 5 or 6 years ago. I cannot take credit for this magnificent bougainvillea or this killer pachypodium. These were here when we started, but the rest of it we created. Now, the challenges that we faced here, obviously this is a very contained small space. It's really a glorified pot when you think about it. It's just a giant pot, and it gets hot here. It's hot right now, and we are in the beginning of fall. We're at the end of September. I'm so pleased with how this held up throughout this last summer. I'm really, really happy with it. And
We had heat waves of like 100 degrees.
yeah, we had, for us here in San Diego, it's not typical to have days of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit that extend, but we did. We had a couple weeks of it. So some of the gardens have really struggled more than others, but this one has done really well. When you look at the things that have really thrived, I'm so impressed with the Ruchia. This has always been a trouble plant for me, and I'm beginning to think more and more that it is water. That if you water this plant too much or at the wrong time, it's going to fail. Our client hand waters this garden, and she has tremendous instincts and does not over or underdo it. The plants are, looking as good as they can look. All the mangaves in this garden, okay, there's two, but they look great. And I'm really fascinated too with how they've stayed so small. The little cactus, I think our client might have planted this little Pilosoceras. It's adorable right here, but I probably wouldn't have put this in front. However, there's nothing wrong with it there now because it's so small, but as it grows, we'll need to move it to the back. This little euphorbia, this is actually a piece off of mine in my garden. I have one of these in a pot, and it's kind of flopping over, so we will straighten that up. With this Portulacaria afra variegata, it needs to be brought to heel. We like the color and the texture in here, but it's a little overwhelming. We've got a beautiful little Dudleya right here that you can't really see. But look at how the Sedum adolphi have thrived. They're not burnt like so many that I've seen after this summer heat. Just really, really happy. The Aeonium sunburst, are doing what Aeonium sunbursts do. They're a little rough for the wear, but not too bad. Even the Platyphylla looks pretty good here. This pop of red is fantastic. The Mammillaria that I put in a couple years ago is thriving. One of the major things we're going to do today, we're going to take out this palm tree that a bird probably dropped a seed here. We do not want a palm tree growing right here. And this variegated attenuata, we're going to gently cut off the pups. Then we're going to take the mom and we are going to shove her back to make more room for this Mammillaria to be exposed. These aloe distans, we're going to cut off pieces of the aloe distans and reset it. This has gotten way too leggy. And there's a little aloe ruticope in here that I'm not feeling. It's not necessary. The millii is spectacular, and this plant's just kind of lost. So that's coming out completely. I like the little Portulacaria minima in here, so that will definitely stay. But there's a really pretty piece of glass, slag glass right here that's covered up. So this piece of slag glass, we will find a new home for that, where it can be enjoyed. Let's see, what else were we thinking? Down here, we've got a couple of plants. We brought some new things. I brought a little multi-barrel. I brought another millii. Hannah and I were thinking about taking out this Sedum rubra and putting the millii in here for a little pop of color. The other one is doing so well. I'm sure it will appreciate it. This Kalanchoe orgialis is struggling, isn't it? It is not happy here. This is what I call pouting, when a plant doesn't die, but it doesn't thrive either. It just kind of sits there. So something was here that looks like died. So we'll figure out something to put right here. All of this beautiful rock, we'll kind of tighten up and reset. and basically just elevate the garden, just bring it back to intention. I'm really excited for you to see this when we get done. So that's a wrap on the planter in La Mesa. And remember, when plants are dormant, succulent plants are dormant for whatever reason, sometimes they can dull. You know, sometimes they get really bright when they're stressed, but dormancy usually means a reduction in pigmentation and color. So it's tempting to want to add more plants to your garden to make it more colorful, and that's an option. But another option, remember, is always to go with rock. You know, rock can add pops of color too. So one thing that I have never introduced here before is a little bit of burgundy, and I'm loving it. It's subtle, it's not in your face, but it's really adding just that little bit of pop of color. You know, another thing, since this is such a small garden, I can go a little crazy with the details, can't I? I can use more glass, I can use more tchotchkes, I can use more rock. I can get really, you know, really creative because it's not that big of a space to maintain. So it's easy. I'm going to pop a little here. Hannah and I, you know, we made a couple of decisions. One was that agave attenuata variegated. I was going to take the babies off and then pop the mom back in the spot. But once I saw how cute the babies looked, I just left them. And I moved the mom around back as a cutting for our client to stick somewhere else, maybe somewhere in her backyard. So that worked out super duper. So all I'm going to do now is just add a little bit of a berg in some key little spots. Remember, I like my 1s, 3s, and 5s. And our client has, as I said, has the watering down on this. We did add a little flangellii, a little euphorbia right there. We added another little reddy red millii, but that was all we added. The rest of the plants that we changed around, you know, like I popped some distans in right here as cuttings, but nothing too dramatic. So she should be able to water, you know, like she always does. I also took out this brevifolia, this aloe brevifolia. It was really cramped in there, so I took it out. I cut it up and I just stuck some pieces back. So I shrunk that down. And obviously we took out buckets and buckets of detritus. But that's about it. This looks like a shiny new penny. And can I just say this Mangave Silver Fox for the W here? Damn, that's good looking. Really love that. If you're looking for a cute Mangave that'll stay pretty compact, that's the one. All right, so for Hannah and Laura in La Mesa, this has been us, and this is this. We'll catch you on the flippity, guys. Bye.